Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Francis Faden, and I am so grateful that we get to spend this time together helping you magnify your miracles. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that is really important, how to pray for what you really, really want. And there's many, many ways to do this, but what I'm going to be sharing with you is I'm going to be sharing a specific prayer technique that I've been doing for the last several years. It's a prayer that you do over a period of time, but I'm going to be telling you why this time of year. I'm recording this in April of 2024, and why this upcoming month is so important and how it can really help you to magnify your prayers and magnify your miracles. And I have experienced amazing things from doing this prayer practice. I've done it quite a few times, but this last time I did it, something really clicked for me. And I was like, this is the piece that's been missing when you're wanting to pray for something that you really, really want. So I'm excited to share it with you. But before we do that, let's take a breath together. And just breathe in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything you no longer need. We do this to really get our body, mind, and spirit all aligned, letting go of any distractions, bringing our awareness to this present moment. And then knowing whatever it is that you need to hear will be exactly what you hear. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, my friend. Well, thank you once again, and welcome back to this beautiful topic of how to pray for what you really, really want. And it's an interesting thing because a lot of times we do pray for the things that we want, or at least we think we're praying for the things we want, especially if you're praying for a miracle. But there's an ancient practice that I've learned over the last several years and that I've practiced, where you pray over a certain number of days and you really focus on your heart's desire. And there's something about that process that really can bring things, it's a quickening, it accelerates the energy for you and can draw those things to you. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to be really clear with you that there's no wrong way. There's no wrong way to pray for what you're wanting. There's no wrong way to pray for your miracle. But there is something that I discovered that I wanted to share with you. And I've been thinking about this topic, going over it in my mind, and I really wanted this episode to come out now. So I'm recording it in May of 2024. I have it scheduled to come out right before May, because I want you to be ready for what I call the month of miracles. What Mother Mary has shared with me is the month of miracles. May is the month of Mother Mary, and it is a beautiful, powerful time, whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere. This time period is leading up to the solstice. So in the Northern Hemisphere, it would be summer solstice. It's winter solstice down in the Southern Hemisphere. Both solstices are pivot points for us, and they give us an opportunity to really magnify our energy and our prayers. So Mother Mary has often said we want to work with the energy of the earth because it's naturally there. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're listening to this episode at a different time, you're not going to be able to get anything out of it. You absolutely will, because what I'm sharing with you is true year round, but there's an added bonus at this particular time of the year. And I really, really want you to receive the benefit of that added bonus. So, what is this prayer technique? So, if you have listened to my previous episodes, you know that I have had the authors of The Way of the Rose on the podcast. And one of the things they do in their beautiful Facebook group and their beautiful online community is they do a 54-day novena. Now, a novena is usually 9 days. The word novena is usually a 9-day prayer process. And people often do a 9-day novena and they ask for something specific. They're praying for something specific. And they usually have a particular prayer that they're doing. Well, the 54-day novena came about, and I don't remember the exact story. And if you want to look it up, you can, but I can't remember the name of the saint. But there's somebody who had asked for something, and after the 9 days, nothing had happened. And that saint said, well, what happened? I did my novena. And Mother Mary said, if you really want this particular miracle, I think it was a physical healing miracle, you want to do this 54-day process where for 27 days, you pray in petition. That means you're asking for 27 days. And then for 27 days after that, you're saying thank you, whether or not you've seen the result of what you'd like manifested or not. So 27 days of asking, and then 27 days of saying thank you. So, and if you look at it, it's really 3 sets of 9 days on the one side and 3 sets of 9 days on the other side. Now, I have done this process many, many times, and I often do it with the people of the Way of the Rose, and I often lead it in the Magnify Your Miracles membership. So, twice a year in the membership, we do this 54-day process. We do it in the spring, starting on May 1st, taking us for 54 days right through solstice. And we call that our Miracle Novena. And then we do one starting on November 1st, and that takes us through Christmas. It actually ends on Christmas Eve, and that is our holiday or Holy Days Novena. Both of them really powerful, both of them working with the solstice, and just a little bit of a different emphasis and a little bit of a different vibration. So the 54-day novena is something that you can do. Now, if you were to Google it, you're going to find a whole bunch of information, and it's going to be, you do these rosaries, and it's going to be a lot of different stuff. But I'm here to tell you, you can take any prayer, and you can shorten it to whatever you want to do, but you say it every day for the 54 days, asking, and then in gratitude and saying thank you. And that's really what you can do. And it's really powerful. Now, I have my own that I've come up with, my own prayers that are really short and sweet. And we do it in the Magnify Your Miracles membership. And, you can always join us if you want to join the membership. You can join because we're not praying it at the same time together, but we're all praying it, those of us who want to pray it. And there's something about that group energy that really magnifies your prayers because you're praying it and then your friends are praying it. And it really holds that energy and that buoyancy for everybody. And every time I've done it in a group format, I find that there is a magnification that happens with that energy. You can always join us. I'm going to put it in the show notes, francisfaden.com/membership. If you want to join the Magnify Your Miracles membership, especially if you want to join before May 1st, we're having our call for May on May 1st. And so you'll get to be part of our call where I channel messages from Mother Mary. So beautiful. And this is a beautiful time of year to do it. So why is May the month of miracles? And how can you pray for what you really, really want, right? So we're going to combine these two things. Well, Mother Mary has said that this particular novena, the 54-day novena, is a great time to pray for what it is that is in your heart the most. And it is your deepest heart's desire, right? And this is the thing that usually messes everybody up. So I've been through this enough times with people, and people will post things on Facebook and say, oh, what do I do? Do I pick this? Do I pick that? How do I know what my real heart's desire is? Because we can feel that disconnected from it. And then a funny thing happened in December or January where I had read online in the Way of the Rose group, I had read online that somebody said, oh, I just asked for everything because I needed everything. She's like, I need a new house. I need a new job. I need a new car. Like she needed everything. And she's like, and I just asked for everything. And she's like, and you know what? Our Lady brought me everything, and everything started to work out. And I had a flashbulb moment in my head where I was like, that's what I'm going to do. Because when you're trying to choose, it's like, well, do I pray about my health? Or do I pray about my relationships? Or do I pray about my money? Or do I pray about my career or my creativity? It's like trying to pick which chakra, right? Now, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes you're really clear, like, I want to meet the love of my life. That's my deep heart's desire. And if you're clear about that, great. But what if everything feels important? What if everything feels important? And so this is what I did this last time. And I think we started in February. And I just prayed for everything. I wrote it down, and I was like, Divine Mother. And for 54 days, 27 days asking, 27 days saying thank you, I just started praying for everything. So what I mean by that is if I was having a health challenge, I put that down. If I was needing to grow my business, I put that down. If I was needing some inspiration, like whatever it was that I needed, like these are the things that were really top of mind for me. Now, some people would say, oh, you can't do that. You need to have a separate novena for each one. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm asking for everything. I am asking for everything because you know what? Everything is what I really, really wanted. And here's the interesting thing that happened. So it's during this time where I'm praying for everything this is when I had that experience with Jesus. For those of you who are tuning in and listening to me every week, it's like this is where I started doing the Holy Spirit's calls and I started stepping into this bigger, more powerful energy. This is when I started having all kinds of miracles that I never would have prayed for specifically start happening because I was open. I wasn't trying to micromanage the universe. I was like, I'm praying for everything. And you know what everything is. And I'm praying for all of it. I need all of it. Right. And I started receiving miracles in ways that I never, ever, ever would have thought to ask. And as it got closer and closer to the end of this particular novena, as it got closer to the 54 days, I started realizing Divine Mother, sneaky as she is, wise as she actually answered my prayer of my one true heart's desire, which was basically, Divine Mother, I'm putting my whole life in your hands, putting my whole life in your hands. So I'm praying, I think I'm praying for everything, right? What Mother Mary is saying is what you're really doing is you're giving me your whole life, you're giving me everything, and you're putting me in charge of everything, and you're allowing me to bring things to you in ways that you could never imagine. So here I am thinking I'm asking for everything, and Divine Mother saying to me, I'm actually offering everything and saying, Divine Mother, all of it. I need help with all of it. And she did. And she scooped me up once again. And she started taking care of everything in ways that I could not have figured out and could not have imagined. So, this is why I'm encouraging you and saying to you, pray for what you really, really want. And if you get stuck in that energy of like, but I can't choose, what's the thing? Pray for all of it. Pray for all of it. Because as you pray for all of it with confidence and with gratitude, what ends up happening is what you really need, like the underlying reason of why things might not be manifesting for you, starts to get sorted out without you getting in there and micromanaging all of it. That's what happened for me. I'd be curious to see if that's what happens for you. So once I realized that, I'm like, oh, from now on, this is what I'm praying for. From now on, I'm always praying and saying, I want all of it, everything, because what I'm actually doing is laying myself at the feet of Divine Mother and saying, here's my life. You know how to make it work. You know how to figure these things out. You know how to do all the things. And I don't mean that like I'm surrendering, and not acting in my life. I don't mean that. I mean, not being in charge, not thinking I have to figure it out, not worrying so much about the how, and just offering it in prayer and being like, here's everything. Now, the interesting thing is my list of everything has gotten much shorter because things have gotten sorted out that I never would have thought. So when I'm going to do another round of a 54-day novena, which I'm going to be starting on May 1st, I don't have a big long list of everything. My list of everything is more like 3 or 4 things. It's like, because so many things have either dropped off and are not important, or have manifested, or are in the process of being rearranged in some kind of a way because I've let go and I'm letting Divine Mother take care of it for me. So this is one of the things I really encourage you to do. If there's something that you really, really want, pray for all of it. Pray for all of it. Don't get caught in like the novena police going to show up and say, oh no, you're doing things wrong. No, it doesn't work that way. Do it with a sincere heart and really pray for everything that you really need. Everything. Just pray for all of it. And then if you're like me, what you're going to find is that what you really, really wanted is you wanted to know that you weren't alone. You wanted to know that God has your back. You wanted to know that you're under the mantle and the protection of Divine Mother. And not just like know it up here, but you wanted to know it. You wanted to really know it. And that's the thing. Like I couldn't have articulated it 54 days ago. I couldn't have said, oh, what I'm really wanting is to know that everything's fine. That's actually what I really was asking for is everything fine? I don't want to keep playing like whack-a-mole with my prayers. Like I'm praying for this and I'm praying for that. And I'm praying like, no, no, no. I want to know that I'm fine. And most days I do know that I'm fine, but now I really know that I'm fine. Because I'm like, oh, she sorted the whole thing out. Now that brings us to the next point that I'm going to share with you, which is doing this in the month of May. So when you pray for what you really, really want, and you're doing it in the month of miracles, this is where energy gets really, really powerful. So if for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm going to give you different directions than those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, from May 1st on, May 1st is the power point. It's the power spot between the equinox and the solstice, right? It's one of those acceleration points and midpoints between the seasons. For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, from this point on, the light on the planet that we will be experiencing is going to magnify in a big way. And so whatever you're praying for during this time period, wow, gets really, really magnified. Whatever you're focused on, remember they say what you focus on expands. Whatever you're focused on really expands during this time. So make sure that you're focused on the things that you're wanting to grow and expand, because from now until solstice, more light, more light, more light, more light. And so it's like a magnifying glass, bringing more and more intensity to your prayers. And if you notice on the planet, this is the time where everything starts growing, right? Everything starts happening in your garden. Everything starts coming into bloom, because this is the time where the earth herself is supporting your prayers with that incredible intensity. Now, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere during this time, you guys have the opportunity, as your light is getting less and less and less, you guys have the opportunity to release whatever it might be. So whatever you're focused on letting go, whatever you're focused on releasing, that light getting smaller and smaller is going to eliminate and take with it anything that you no longer need. Both of these times magnified by Mother Mary's energy by this month of miracles. So all my Australia friends and anybody below the equator, you guys have this opportunity to really have a big, powerful release, letting go of beliefs, letting go of identities, letting go of things that no longer serve you, and really making room for when you get to solstice, you're going to be having the space and the ability to really receive more and more. For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this is a time to be clear about what we want and to really focus on that energy in prayer and let it grow and grow and grow and grow. We water it with the seeds of faith. We water it with the seeds. We water it with prayer and with faith, and we let those seeds really, really grow. So now that you know how to pray for what you really, really want, how to pray for what you really, really want, you can use this 54-day novena even just by itself, because you might not be listening to this in the month of May, and that's okay. You can use this novena. You can start at any time and go through this 54 days, 27 days asking, 27 days saying thank you. You can do it in the month of May. Even if you don't do the novena, you can just do your affirmations and your focusing and your visioning in the month of May, and let the sun itself either expand your energy in the north or let it reduce and release anything for you if you guys are in the south. And if you really want to do the magic, you can combine the two, which is what we're going to be doing and what we're definitely going to be doing in the Magnify Your Miracles membership. And as I said, if you want to be in a community of like-minded people, if you want support in magnifying your miracles, come and join us. francisfaden.com/membership. It's an opportunity to join us and to be on 2 calls every month where we are focused on helping you magnify your miracles. We're supporting you in witnessing them, and we're also helping you deepen your prayer, because we believe everything is about connection. The more you can be in the energy, that what we call the energy of unconditional love, the more that you can be in that quantum field where everything is possible, the more you have miracles and more miracles in your life. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, my friends. I'm so, so grateful for you. And I would love to hear if this resonated with you and what you're going to do. You're going to pray for everything. You're going to pray for one thing. You're going to do it for 54 days. You're going to just do it in the month of May. There's no wrong way. You get to have fun with it. And I love hearing your inspiration, because your inspiration actually inspires me. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much. And please remember that the key to magnifying your miracles is knowing that your miracle is already here. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.